Good evening, guys. We'll start with the session. Okay, so in the last class, we have discussed about the joints, right? So, joints completely like what are the different types of joints we have, and along with that, the practical execution as well. Okay, so I think still you guys did not get the joints tables, right? If I'm not wrong, you did not get it. Okay. So sorry for the delay. By end of the day, you will be getting it. Okay. So whatever that is there, so please do take up that and the questions, whatever it is there. So try to read it once again. Try to understand them once again. Why? Because in the joints, knowing the different types of the joints, fine. Understanding it, the functionality of that, fine. But when it comes to the questions, understanding them, analyzing them, and doing the things is the most important thing. So that is where the actual requirement lies. So if you wanted to become familiar with that, then definitely you have to start analyzing the things and you have to start doing hands-on practice, which is most important. Fine. So this is completely about the joints. We have ended that in the last class only. Fine. So now we have to see an important topics. So which I can tell that most of the times they have asked in the interviews. Okay, so that is why we have tried to add up the additional things as an extra topics for you guys. Okay, so today we will be seeing regarding the concept called as an index. This is most repeated question. Multiple students have said me that they have asked this in the interviews. So you need to know like what is an index, like how to create an index and how to drop that particular index. But what is its functionality, we'll see it. And also along with this, we will also be seeing about the topic or a concept called as a views as well. Even this is also as an important thing for your interviews. So this also recently for one or the other batch, I don't know like whether it is your batch or some other batch. So they have said, they have asked this question. One table is there. So without creating a table, how do I make a kind of the copy like another table? It is not a table alias. Table alias, one table only, means by using that table name, a copy that you are creating. But this is actual thing only, how can you create a copy? So without telling create a table, all that, so how can you do that particular task? So that also that you will be learning here. Okay, so if still time is there, we'll see one more important topic also. I'll tell what it is. So right now let us know, discuss and understand about what are indexes and what are the views. So first thing, let us see about an index. That efficiency that you can see that whenever I'm executing the thing only, you can understand how the things and all that will be present. Fine. So here, what is this index? So where and all have you guys heard about this word index? I mean in the Java you would have been heard. Here in the Java you would have been heard that whenever you tell that blocks, so each of the block will be having a certain index and this index will be starting from 0. So this is what that you would have been learned. Apart from this, anywhere? Yes. It is in the textbooks and you would have been seen in the notebooks also. Most of the times you would have been seen in the textbooks. In every textbooks if you see, that index page definitely will be there. Why is that indexes they are provided? Why? Because see, if everything will be dumped in one book, everything will be present. But we have a different lessons, we will be having a different chapters there. So if I just wanted to know about one particular chapter, every time I cannot sit and keep on turning my pages. So that is why what they do, this chapter starts from this page. This lesson starts from this page. That page number they would have been given, basically that is an index. So how that particular index is helping you guys? Efficiency, right? Instead of sitting and turning each and every page, what you can do, you can directly go there to that page number and you can access whatever the things that you wanted to see. And you can read or get the content that whatever that you are expecting and whatever is the requirement, so that the time will be saved. And efficiency of getting the things also will be more. So same thing only, the purpose of the index will be survived even here also. So here also, here the most important goal of ours is to fetch that particular data. Creation will do once, insertion whenever required will do, but frequently that what we will be doing is fetching up the data. So whenever we are fetching up the data, certain requirements will be there. Every time will not be doing the same task. There will be a certain things that frequently and developers will be doing. For example, like comparing with the salaries, or for example, updating your data and fetching up that data. So frequently few things that we will be doing it more. So now, when it comes to this, one simple example I'll tell to you guys, same thing you can apply for everything. First of all, understand index means it is created to fetch the data efficiently or to fetch the data quickly, more quickly. Now, whatever the queries that we have written, whatever output we are getting, it is not delayed. If you see, not even once it came delayed. Every time when as soon as I click on the enter, we got an output. Why is this? Is because we have a data or facts and figures is less. We don't have any lakhs together of data here to show that delay to you guys. But in the real time, this will not be the case. A lakhs together of a data that you have to deal with. No matter whether in some Excel sheet or no matter whether in the table format, wherever it is, you should start dealing with the huge data. When in that case, whenever you are telling something, whenever you are giving a condition, what it will do, don't you think that it will go to each and every record and it will check for that condition? So if I have a 15 records, to 15 records it will go and check. If I have a 20, it has to go to each and 20 values and it has to compare. Then only whichever condition is satisfied, not satisfied, it will give to us. So if lakhs together is there, definitely that time will take. Why? Because 1 lakh data if it is there, 1 lakh time that comparison it has to do. It cannot tell, okay, one data got matched, I will leave other data. No, what if any other data again matching the condition? It cannot skip. Each and every record it has to go, it has to fetch and it has to give. So in that case, that delay will be happening. So to avoid that delay, to fetch your data quickly, only on the columns, understand my statements, on the columns, we can create an index. And again, let me be very frank. Index numbers are not visible to us. That is virtual. That is not visible for our eyes. That index will be generated internally. This is first thing we have to understand. Second thing, by using that index, if you tell, like how in your arrays, if you tell A of 0, print A of 0, don't think in the 0 whatever it is there, it will give. No. Why? Because here indexes what internally will be created, what numbers it is generating, it is not visible to any of us. It is an internal implementation. Just we have to create one index on whichever column we want. Inside that particular column, for each and every record, it will generate the ASCII values, it will be generating the pseudo codes, so that everything internally will be generated. For us, all that is not required. For us, what is required is whether it is giving me the data quickly or not. So if you have any questions, I know definitely some will ask, ma'am, can I using an index, can I fetch? No. Can I see an index? No. But efficiency I can show you. Like before creating an index, to how many rows it went. After creating an index, to how many rows it went. That efficiency I can show you. But that numbers I cannot show you, because that is not possible and that is not visible to our eyes. That is an internal implementation. So indexes are created to fetch our data quickly. And on what we have to create? On the columns. Not on each data, how do you create in your Java? No. It is on the columns. So when you create an index, automatically internally everything will be having that unique. Based on that, it will fetch and give. So being as an SQL developers, We don't give much interest on what numbers created internally. We only focus on how quickly it is fetching and it is giving us the data. So these two important things that you have to know on which that we are creating. Fine. So here I'll just give some examples here, like before creating an index, how do you know to how many records it has been went? So many days we did not check that. Probably in the upcoming classes also it's not required, but when you start working on the real time projects, that is very, very much important. So that is why you need to know what are the commands you will be using, how do you know that particular fetching of the things. Okay, so here, so first I will redirect. So I just wanted to create one proper table I'll create, okay, because I don't want to touch our original tables that what we have. Okay, one proper sample, one database I will create. Inside that I will be creating one table. Based on that we'll see that how to create an index and even a view. When we start, that also I'll create in this database only. Why? Because I don't want to mix up with the other. I don't want to create in that joins database also. I don't want to create in the TAP Academy database also. Okay, so first I will check here as show databases. If any database is there which we can use it. So I'll give here July B1 which we have created initially, right? So that only we can use it. Okay. So here I will tell as use July B1. So I have redirected. Now let me check what are the tables that are available here. Okay. So here I will tell as show tables. So what are the tables I have? Department, details, EMP, right? So I'll just describe the EMP that whatever I have here. So what and all I have? ID, name, age, department I have here. Okay. So let me check what are the data that is available here. Okay. So this is the data that is available. Okay. Let us try to do in this particular thing only. Any column you can take. It is not that mandatory, this only you have to take it. Whichever you want, you can take it. Concept remains the same. Syntax remains the same. And is it required to create an index on the primary key column? Is it required to create an index on the primary key column? This is an interview question. No. Why? Because already the values, what we have inside that column is unique. Whatever we have inside that primary key column will be unique and we will not be having a null values also. So, we no need of creating the index on the primary key column. But when I talk about the other columns, I have to create and I can create based on my requirement. Why? Because repetitions can be there and that comparisons also should happen. So, on the other columns I can create. And one more important point, always remember, just because it will quickly give you the data, for every column don't create an index. That will affect your system performance. That will affect what? Your system performance. So whatever you do in your system, internally some other way that memory will be getting occupied. Whether you use it, whether you don't use it, internally that process has to be happen. So you need to create an index on such things that where frequently you are performing an operations. Not on if yearly once if you are doing that operation, not creating an index on that. It doesn't make any kind of sense. So create again, there is no rule. Don't think just because I am telling it's a rule. You can create, but if you create, what happens? Your system performance will get affected. So just create an index to such columns that where you are using frequently. If you are not using that particular column frequently, if you are not performing any operation, don't simply create an index. Fine. So here I have a department ID here. Okay. So EMP is there, and I think we have a department ID also, which is the foreign key, I guess, here. Okay, anyways, if the relationship again foreign key is there, okay, I just wanted to show you guys on the normal column, not on the primary key and foreign key. On foreign key also you can create. Why? Because duplicates will be there. So let us create one new table only. Let us try to insert some values and let us try to fetch up the things. So here I will tell as create table. So I'll just give here as a details. So I'll give here ID, I'll tell here, I'll not give any primary key all that right now. I just want the columns and some data inside this. So I will tell here name, varchar 10, and here I will give a salary. I'll tell here as an int. Okay. So how many columns I have taken? 3 columns I have taken. So details also it is present. Okay, detail. Okay, so I have given this table name as what? Detail. How many columns I have here? 3 columns. What are those? ID, name and salary. These are the 3. I'll just insert few records into this. Okay, so here I will tell as insert into detail values. So first ID I have to give, then name I have to give, then salary I need to give. So I'll give some 20,000 I'll give. One record I have inserted. How many record? One record. One more record I will give here. B I will give. So this I will tell as 1000. So second record I have inserted. Third record also I will insert. So here I will tell as 3. Here I will tell as C, and I will tell here as 1000. How many records I have inserted? 3 records. So here I will tell as select star from detail. So 3 records I have. Okay. Now, I'll just show you that now I'll give one condition. Just I'm giving one example here. I wanted to display all the details of an employee whose salary is 2000. Did you understood my query? Did you understand my query? So what is my query? I want to display all the details of an employee whose salary is 2000. Yes. So how do I write it? Select star from detail where salary equals to 2000. So I'll give a semicolon. You can see that one record I got. For us, if you see, as soon as I clicked on the enter, it gave to me. As soon as I clicked on the enter, it gave to me. But in the background, so many things it would have been done, right? That going to each and every value, comparing it. Because without comparing, how it will give? How it can predict that this is a person 2000? It is not possible. Means, in the background, that comparison is happening. For us, it is not visible, but it is happening. So, how do I check that? So, here we have one specific keyword you can tell. Few people will tell this as a keyword. Let me be very frank. Few people will be telling this as a command. But most of the things that if you see, it is called as a keyword. Okay. So, what is that a keyword is? It is nothing but explain. It is what it is, and explain. Why I am using this explain? Not to fetch a data. I just wanted to see in the background how many cross check has been happened. Means how many rows my cursor went to how many rows that value comparison it has been done. So here inside this now I will tell my particular query. I will tell here as what? Select star from detail wherever salary equals to 2000 is what that I am telling here. Can you see here how many rows it has been went? How many rows it has been went? 3 rows. How many rows we had in our table? 3 rows. But how many records it gave me? Only 1 row. So what did you understood by this? It means whether one record is matching, 2 records are matching, it is not the thing. But it will go to every record to compare the value which you have given. In your table, if you have 10 records, to 10 records it will be going. If you have a 20 records, to 20 records it will be going. If you have 1 lakh records, it will be going to 1 lakh records. This is how that so many days your query has been performed. But how many 2000s I have here? It is only 1. To fetch that 1 data, why it has to go to 1 lakh? Why it should go to 3 rows? Why it should go to 50? So that delay, right now it is not happening, but when you deal with a large amount, definitely the delay you can see it. So how do I do this? By creating an index. So here you need to tell that on which particular table that you wanted to create that particular index. So same thing here, the command which we have to use here is create. What I want to create? Index I want to create. See the syntax here, I want to create index. And after this, we need to give that particular unique name. Whenever I created a table, I gave a unique name. Whenever I created a database, I gave a unique name. Yes. So here, whenever I am creating that particular index also, I need to provide an unique name. So here, whatever you wanted to tell, you can tell it. So here, I will just tell as an A1. You can tell whichever you want. It doesn't mean that you have to tell this only, but that name should be unique. So create index A1. So I need to tell that on which table that I am creating this. On which table that I am creating this? On the detail. And in this particular table, on which column that I am creating this? I want to create this on the salary. Because condition I am giving on what? Salary. The 3 rows, why it went? To compare the 3 values of the salary column. So now what I am doing here? I am creating that particular index. So I am telling here create index A1 on which table it is and on which column it is. Now it is created. Now same query again I will execute. Which is query? That explain query. Before creating how many rows it has went? 3 rows. Now I created an index. Now I will execute the same query once again. And I will click on enter. How many rows it has went? Can you see the efficiency between before creating an index and after creating an index? So what it will be doing basically here is on whichever column that you are creating an index, internally for each and every value one unique ID will be generated. One unique value will be generated. So internally we have such algorithms that as soon as I give a value here, it will directly go to that particular value and it will be fetching to me. Now, if I tell salary equals to 1000, to how many records it should go? How many records? Only 2 records. Should it go for 3? No. Why only 2? Because we have only 2000s there. So same query I will execute here, but here I will tell as 1000. So here I will click on enter. So how many rows it has went? Only 2 rows. So this is how that indexes and this is how it is important. You might think, ma'am, why I am not getting that table, I am writing a query. I am not displaying here. I am just checking to how many records it has been went for that particular query. So for that, what keyword I should use here? Explain. What it is telling? Explain. Not only that, if you see here, what is the select type? Means are you giving it simple or not? What is a table name it is there? And here if you see, what are the key, means what is that particular index name that you are giving here. So multiple information, and can you see the ID of that particular thing? Also it is giving. Okay, so this is how that indexes will be there, but for us what is important is rows. For us what is important? Rows. What these rows are representing here? What these rows are representing here? To how many rows your cursor has been gone to compare your data. Before creating an index, it will go to every record. But after creating an index, it will go to the specific records. Why? Because the duplicates will not be there now, because internally that numbers would have been generated. And understand, this is very much important for your interviews. They will ask you, what is index? And why do you use an index? How do I create an index? At the same time, how do I drop an index? How do I drop an index? Drop, index, index name. The syntax is same. What it is? Drop, index, index name. So this is same. So again, still if you have a doubt, can I see that numbers? No. Can I see an index numbers? No. By keeping that index numbers, can I fetch the data? No. Efficiency, you can only show to the interview people this way. What is the difference between before I create an index, once I create an index? Is this clear to everyone? So what is an index? To fetch the data quickly, we will be creating an index. On what we will be creating an index? On the columns. Do we create on the data? It is on the columns. How do I check the efficiency of that? By using the explain keyword. Okay. Complete detail of the query it will give. Structure it will not give. Complete detail about your query it will give. How many seconds it had been taken? See, to filter out that last, if you see, how many minutes or seconds or milliseconds it would have been taken, that everything that it will be showing. Can you see here? Filtered. So that will be in terms of the milliseconds. So that how many times that it has been given that particular record by filtering your rows or records. So all that it will be giving. So this is how that you can showcase the efficiency to the interview person. Very small topic, but very much important for your interviews. Recently also to one student they have asked. I am not talking about 2 months, 3 months back, recent. They have asked this in the interview. He could not be able to answer just because it was not taught in the class, to be very frank. But now it has been included, now it has been clearly taught, so make sure that you utilize the things properly. And whenever you are there asking, please make sure that you explain whatever that you know in this thing. Fine. So this is all about the index. One research topic I will be giving you. Search for what are the types of indexes we have in MySQL. What is the research topic? Types of index in the MySQL. So please do this research work. Fine. So next let us see about the views. Okay. Now, index we have learnt. Okay. Now what is this views in the sense? These are nothing but the virtual tables. Views are nothing but they are the virtual tables. Why this is used and why it is important in the real time is, now whenever you are working on the project, now here only you take. One main databases we had throughout our course, that is our employee table, department table and the other tables we had. Main. On that only we have solved all the queries. So similarly, when you go to any of the company, whenever you are working on the certain projects, a main database will be there. Where? In that only all the confidential informations of the employees will be present. That is, what is your salary? What is your Aadhaar card number, PAN card number, bank account number? So that every detail will be present inside that main database. What are the documents you have provided? That everything that will be present there. Now, if one person comes, if one employee comes, insertion should be done. Insertion should be done. One developer will be there to insert that particular record. Do you think this complete database they will give to him? Or this complete main table that they will give to him? If they are providing, what will happen? First thing is security will not be there. First thing is security will not be there. Suppose if he sees any employee, assume the developer got the complete information. In the same joining of him only one more person joined. But he has less experience and this developer has more experience. But salary for him more and for him less. By seeing that, what he will do? He'll go to HR, right? What he will tell? Why you are giving so much to him? What is my mistake? I have so much of experience. Like this only the conflicts raise. This is not actually a funny thing, but this is a fact that maintaining your salary thing when you go to a company, the salary information is the most confidential information. Not even your Aadhaar card, PAN card. Your salary is the most confidential information. Whenever you go, HR one last dialogue he or she will tell, don't share your salary details with anyone. This is one common dialogue will be present. Why? Because a lot of issues can be erased. For us it might be very simple, but for the company people it is not like that. That is a very important, and it is an ethics also. And if you believe or no, there are people who got fired also just because discussing their salary details. No, this is actually the truth. This is actually how the things work in the IT industry. This and all are facts. So easily they cannot give that complete data to one employee. But insertion has to be done, updations has to be done, deletion has to be done. How is this possible? If you think, they will be creating one virtual table where they will only showcase to you what is required to you. They will not provide the other information, but at the same time it doesn't mean that one more table they are creating. No, one main table will be there. From that only they will pick up the columns. They will make one virtual table. It is not a main table. It is not a real table. It is a virtual table. There it will only be visible that which is required for you and which you are allowed to see. Remaining things we can hide. What we can do? Remaining things we can hide. So that confidentiality will be maintained and so that the security of the data will also be there. So that is why this views. Most of the times whenever you start working on the things, developer might think that it is an original table, but that will be a virtual table. That is what that they will assign to him. That is what they will give to him until and unless he is the admin. Until and unless he is an administrator. If he is a normal developer, what he will be having is a virtual table, where only the information which is required only will be shown to him. So that we can create here by using this views. Basically views are what? They are the virtual tables that which we will be creating on our original tables. And one more thing that which you have to understand here is, whatever modification you do to your virtual table will be affected on your original table. So if you try to do any modifications there, easily you will be get caught. Because one person will be there who will be observing that particular table, who will be maintaining that particular table. If you do any modifications, it will be affected there and they will come to know that who has been modified that. And whatever the changes that would be done for your main table, that will get affected to that virtual table as well. That is how the things will happen. Because this is what? This is a copy of that only. But here it will be visible only which I wanted you to see. I will not be creating some other table. If I create, memory will be occupied. 1 lakh data I cannot insert once again and give that to him. If I am doing that, if any changes I am doing, will it get affected here? If I am not creating a virtual table, will it get affected? No. If it is in virtual table, then only. Every time administrator cannot come and tell, see, I have inserted this record, I have updated this, you update here also, he will not tell. What is happening there will be affected here. What is happening here will be reflecting there as well. So both will be interrelated. Again, this is not something that we are using a foreign key, creating a relation. No, that is by default. Because it's a virtual table that which you will be creating on your original table. I hope that this is clear to everyone. Fine. So not only the insertion, any updation you are doing, it will be affected. Any deletion you are doing, it will be affected. Whatever it is, if you do on this will be affected. If you do this, it will be reflected here. And it is sometimes it's not that just taking up the column and displaying. No. If you want, you can give a conditions. If you want, you can group the data. If you want, you can update the data. Many things that we can do it here. But how much is required for you guys? That much I will be showing here. Why? Because views will not come under your SQL. It will be coming under something called as a PLSQL. Procedural Language Structured Query Language. But we will be doing it in our MySQL only. But it is not pure SQL. What will be added there? PLSQL. So that is why I will not be digging much inside that. Why? Because PLSQL is very vast. It is vaster than your SQL. It is vaster than your SQL. So what is required for you? What is the syntax for you? That is what that I will be showing to you guys. By keeping that syntax, why? Because the main motive here is nothing is better than something. If they ask you about the views, you should not tell I don't know. Just because that you don't know the PLSQL. Just understand the syntax. And explain all this to them. Being an SQL developer, if you explain this much, this is more than sufficient. But practice is more important here. And remembering the syntax, it's not complicated again. Let me be very clear. Don't think it will be a complicated. It is very simple. But all the things that you can do it here. So whenever you are practicing it, make sure that all the things that you will be able to do it. Try to do research. If extra thing, if you are learning, it is well and good whenever you are getting a time. But don't limit your knowledge only here. Why I will not be taking more things here? Because if I start one, I need to end it properly as well. In between, I cannot tell you, no, this is not this, no. So that is why how much it is required for you guys, that much I will explain. Additional things, whenever you are practicing, do it. If you have any doubt, you can come and ask me anytime. I will teach you. But here, understand this. So basically, what is a virtual table? Virtual means what? Views means what? It is a virtual table created on our original table. What is the use of views? To maintain the security. Example? Same example you can tell. Okay? See, confidential information will be there. We cannot share that to everyone. But developers will be there who has to work on that particular tables. But it doesn't mean that I need to give everything there. So that is why we will be creating a virtual tables. In that tables, it will be visible only the things which I wanted them to see. And whatever I do it on the virtual table will be affected on my original table. Whatever I do on my original table, it will be affected on the virtual table. So this is how that you have to explain in the interviews. So please make sure that you remember all these things. Fine. So here, so let me take this particular table only here. Okay. So here what I have a detailed table. Inside this I have an ID, I have a name, I have a salary. Now I will be creating one virtual table. My original table name is what? Detail. Detail is my original table. Now on this one virtual table I want to create. And in that particular virtual table, what I will be doing here is, I will be leaving that salary. Salary I will not make it visible. I want only ID and name to be visible. Again, only column will not be there. Whatever data is there, that also will come. Okay, don't think ID means only column will, no, inside that column whatever data is there, that also will come in your virtual table. But I don't want salary to be visible to you. I want only ID and name to be visible. So that let us do it here. So here I will just tell here as select star from detail I will tell. Okay, so this is my table that which I have right now. Okay, so this is my original table. So in this only what I will be doing, I will be creating the virtual table. So how to create that virtual table is same. I need to tell here as what? Create. What I want to create? I want to create one view. And in similar manner you need to give one name also for your view. Same thing, whenever you are creating a table, whenever you are creating a database, or whenever you are creating an index or views, name that whatever you are giving, it should be unique. So here I will tell as virtual table, one name that I have given here, that's all. But see, you can give your employee table also, name also you can give. Any other proper standard name also you can give. Just to make you clear, I have given this. But understand, whenever you go to an interviews, whenever you are giving an example, don't tell VTab. No, many do that. When I tell table T1, they will tell table T1 only. They will give table T1 only. See, I am giving that because many things are present inside the system. Every time we cannot drop and we cannot give. But you remember, whenever you go to the interviews, table name whatever you are giving, that should be standard. Don't give whichever you want. Don't tell VTab, don't tell T1, don't tell T2. That you can use for alias. That too when you are not displaying it. Whenever you are displaying that particular column also, you have to give meaningful names only. So remember this. Okay. So here I have just said as a VTab for as a virtual table I am telling here now. So here I need to use one keyword here called as an AS. So what I will be using here? AS means this virtual table should look like what? That we have to tell it. Now, inside this here, what I will be telling? I will be telling here as a select. Select what and all I need to be displayed here. ID I need to display, then name I need to display. From which table this is? From the detail table. So what I am telling here? Create, view, VTab and as select ID name from detail. Anytime whenever we are writing up a query, did we use any keywords like that so far? Did we use any keywords like that so far? Not as a table alias. Whenever I am creating something, did we use? No. If you see, this is syntax only is slight little bit different. Why? Because this is not completely and purely SQL. Some of the part of the PL SQL also will be added here. Okay, so I'll give a semicolon, I'll click on enter. Now what did I do? It has executed properly. It executed properly. Now, what is this? What this will be doing? This is which table? My original table. It is a detail. As usual, when I enter this, what data it is there, I'll get. Now, view just now I have created. Did I insert any record to that? No, I did not do anything to that. So now what I will be doing, instead of telling here detail, here I will tell V tab. Can you see here? So what I am getting here? ID and the name column. Did I get the salary? No. Did I create a table? Did I insert a value? No. What I have done here, on my original table, what is required for me, that I made as one virtual table. So this is how that a copy also you can create it, one more copy without creating a table. You can tell select a star from detail. One more copy will be done, but will you be creating a table? No. So this is how that copy that you can do it. Now, what I will do, I will insert. So here I will tell as insert into which table this is? Virtual table. Which table is this? Virtual table. To which table I am inserting? Virtual table. So here I will tell as values. Here, how many values should I give? Only 2 values. Don't think I can give 3 values here. Why? Because in virtual table I have only 2 columns. That syntax is same. If you have 2, you have to give 2 only. If you have 3, you have to give 3 only. Otherwise, you have to specifically tell a column name and you have to assign what? You have to assign the null value there. So here what I am doing? Insert into virtual table. And after that what I am doing? Values. So here what I will be doing? I will tell here 4. And here I will tell us D. So to which table I am inserting this? Virtual table. Yes. So definitely in my virtual table I will be getting that record. Definitely in my virtual table I will be getting a record. What about the original table? It will not. That is what I said. Whatever changes you do in your virtual table, that will automatically get affected to your original table also. So, if I tell here as a detail, can you see the 4th record? Can you see the 4th record here? Salary I did not give it. Did I provide a salary? No. But whatever value I gave there, it is coming here. And now I will try to insert the value. I'll try to insert the value to my original table. Here I will tell as a detail. And here I will tell as 5. And here I will tell as E. So to which table I am giving this? Salary should be given. So details table I have given. So if I fetch 5th record is present, yes. Same record should be present even in the virtual table as well. Can you see? Updation also same. Deletion also same. So here if I tell as delete from detail wherever ID is equals to 3 I will tell. What I am telling here? From which table I am deleting? Detail table. This is my original table. So I have deleted a record. When I tell as a detail, I know that the 3rd record should not be present. It will not be present. But will the 3rd record will be present here? Is there? No. So whatever you do, whether it is an updation or whether it is a deletion or whatever it is, what you will be doing, you have to make sure that it will not be properly you are doing an operation. Otherwise, in both the things that it will get affected. If one mismatch also, they will catch you. Because the data is very much important. You cannot manipulate the data however you want. It is very, very much important. Now, in this views only, here I just selected the data and I gave it. Yes or no? What did I do? I just selected the data from I just selected ID, name and I have displayed. If you want to give a condition, you can give. You want to group the data, you can do it. Sorting the data, you wanted to do it. Aggregate function, you wanted to do it. So here, in this SQL statement, that whatever you are doing here, you can give whichever you want and whatever you have learned so far. Based on that only, records will come into your virtual table. Understand? Based on that, if you are getting virtual table, then can you randomly perform the insertion? I will group all the department IDs and I will place in the virtual table. Can I randomly insert some record there? Can I insert? No. Because I have grouped the data and that has to be affected in your original table also. How it will go and affect in your original table if you have grouped the data there. So there are certain operations and there are certain scenarios where operations are possible and operations are not possible also. So you need to make sure that properly you try to analyze the things. But yes, in the virtual table, whenever you are creating, you can group the data and you can create. Based on aggregate functions also you can create. Whatever SQL statements you have learned so far, everything can be present here. But if you get that, you need to check whether insertion is possible or updation is possible or deletion is possible or not. That is left to you. So is this clear that how to create this virtual table? Everyone? So this is how that views and indexes will be there. And both are very much important for your interviews. So as I said, whenever you are practicing grouping it, sorting the data, giving a condition, all that is possible. So try to do up that things as well. Okay, but when you do, you need to check three things. Whether you will be able to insert, update and delete or not. That whenever you practice, make a note. If I group a data, insertion not possible. If I group updation not possible. If I group deletion possible. So like that, make a note whenever you are practicing. Later don't come and tell me, ma'am, this question they have asked in the views, but I could not be able to answer. Please don't give all this kind of reasons. And please make sure that you do it. Fine. So this is about the index and views. Okay. So since we have still more time, we'll discuss one more topic, which is no way. Okay. At least I'll explain you guys about the workbench. Workbench. I'm not explaining a topic. I'll be explaining a workbench. Means your GUI, graphical user interface, which I said in second or third day that I'll tell at the last. Remember? Yes? Listen. Maintain silence. The much that you keep on talking, I'll take time and I will leave late. So make sure what is important I'll tell. I'll not start a topic, but this will help me for the next class. So please make sure that concentrate on this. See, so far we have seen only related to the command prompt. We have not seen about the workbench. I know few of them would have already been started working on the workbench if you have a knowledge, but few of them I know even a command prompt they did not start. It's a fact. So please make sure that you do start it. So what is an workbench in the sense here for us? It's a graphical user interface. Please don't talk. Why this is important is when you go for an interview, you cannot tell that only I worked on the command prompt. Now you are in a position that you can easily start working on your workbench. But still, for few of the things that we will be using a command prompt only. But whatever the topics I will be seeing further, that I will be using a workbench only. And for online students, I know that the background color will be white. Okay, so please make sure that little bit you guys have to adjust it. Why? Because we cannot change the default background color. Okay, so only for one session, bear it, try to understand it. Still if it is not, you can come back or you can ping in the Slack. Okay, but I think it will not be that blur or something, just little bit focus is required. Immediately don't tell ma'am not visible. I know because I have seen the recording how much it will be visible, how much it will not be visible. So adjust it little bit. Why? Because so many days you would have been seeing only black. Now you have to see white also. Okay, so please do adjust with that. Fine. Now, how do you open your workbench? Yeah, username and ID, but many of you guys will not know how to open your workbench. See, same like how you went in the search bar and how you said as a MySQL command line. Similarly, you have to tell as MySQL workbench. Okay, so that is what that you have to tell it here. So what you will tell in the search? Okay, so see here, you have to go to the search. Okay, here you will be getting as MySQL workbench, you have to get it here. So can you see here MySQL workbench? In the search, you will be getting as MySQL workbench, you will get it. Okay, so just you need to click on that particular thing here. Once you click, it will be opened like this. And here, the most important thing that which you have to be aware is about this local instance. Understand my words so that whenever you are opening, you will be able to know it. If you are not able to see the screen, please do understand my words. As soon as you open it, you will be getting one local instance here. This local instance only you have to start working, okay? And this local instance that you will not be creating or I will not be creating, by default, whenever you have installed, you would have got that one, okay? So what you have to do, you have to go and just click on that local instance. What you have to do, just go and click on that local instance. Once you click on that local instance, it will ask you for the password. Same password that what you have given for your MySQL or whenever you have installed a MySQL, same password only you need to provide it here. So whatever root if you have given, give that particular password here as a root and you just click on OK. So once you click on that OK here, so this is how that platform you will be getting first time when you are opening. For us, the most important thing here, one is editor, one is result, means output, and one is a tab that where it will tell you if any errors are there or whether your query is executed successfully or not. In a command prompt, we used to get right query OK, right? For that also, one individual separate tab we will be having here, segregation. In this only segregation. So first time when you open, this is how it will be present. First thing what you need to do here is, in your left side if you are seeing, here, you have something, you will be having something called as an administration and you will be having something called as a schema. Two things you will be having, what is that? Administration and schema. Our work is not on the administration. Our work is on the schema. So what is schema? Basically, it is nothing but it is a collection of your tables where everything will be present. So, you have to just click on the schema. If you go to the schema, there only what are the databases, everything will be available. Like how we have done in the command prompt, show databases, show tables, all that it is not even required here. So, what we can do, we can just directly tell us, just redirect it to the schema, click on that. On the left side only all the things will be visible there. So this is how that what you can do, you can give up the things. Again I am repeating, online students or anyone, if it is not clearly visible, please do understand my words. Try to implement the same thing in your system. On your left side, if you are in the schema, left side, all the databases will be visible. There you will be getting one kind of an button, arrow kind of a button you will be getting. Once you click on that, there again, you can see here below that tables also will be coming. Below that tables also you will get. If you click on that particular tables, in that what are the columns are there, what are the tables are there, everything will be visible. You no need of telling describe also, you no need of telling show also, nothing is required, everything will be present here automatically. So that is why this is called as a graphical user interface. And I know that if we teach this initially only, none of the comments you will learn. And you will not even get placed. And you will go and ask, give me that MySQL workbench only. I'll do it and show. But this will not work. So that is why you guys got trained more on the command prompt. But now you are in the position that you have to start using this. You cannot tell now I don't know to use this. You have to start using this also from now on. So here, that side, in your right side, can you see 3 blue color icons are there? 3 blue color icons. So now, unwanted tabs which are there, that you can close it. In your right side, I will be getting one default tab. This is not required for us. If you want to close this tab, you can see here 2 things are there actually. I know that is not properly visible, but 2 things are segregated here. So if you, this side, whatever right side that I am getting, this is not required for us. So for that, if you wanted to remove, the last button, can you see here? Last one, just click on this, then that will go. That will go. So properly your editor you will be getting here. Okay. So this is how end. Down here, if you are seeing this, can you see right now 2 sections I have, this one and this one. This is my editing part, means where I will write a query. Once I execute it, whether my query is successfully got executed or not, if any error is there, that will be visible here. Between these 2, one more tab I will get. One more segregation I will get, there output will be there. So 3 things are important. One is what? One is my editing, where I write a query. Second thing is my output. Third thing is my result, means whether my query is executed successfully or if any error it is there, that one. But apart from this, the commands whatever it is there, everything is same. Commands whatever I will be having here, everything will be same here. So here, okay, so what is the first thing that you have to do it here? So I will be telling as what? Use. And then I need to tell the database name. So here I will tell as tab academy is the database name. In our command prompt, semicolon is mandatory. But here semicolon is not mandatory. Can you see here some yellow color 2 icons are there? Yes. See, this first one is nothing but to execute your single statement, whichever is present in your editing. Second icon if you are seeing here, if you want all the statements to be executed in one shot, then you have to go with this. Now, initially I said you guys to copy and paste all the commands where in your command prompt. I said you to give a semicolon, right? So same thing here, you can copy and paste all the things. If you click on this second button, whatever it is there, every statement one by one will get executed. You no need to go to the statement and you no need to execute it specifically, not required. So now, how do I execute this thing? First thing is, I can shortcut control and enter you have to click. Control and enter. Control plus enter. Again, please don't type control plus and enter. No, control enter. Understood? Control plus enter. Down, can you see something like I am getting here one green color tick mark you will get here. Okay, if it is not visible, please do adjust it. So here one green color tick mark. This is not my output. This is just that whether query is executed successfully or not. If that green color tick mark is coming, it means your query executed successfully. So what is the first one? Control plus enter. This is the first one. Second one is you can just select your statement and you can click on this button. I'll click on this button. Now you can see that again it got executed. I did not click control plus enter. What did I click? This icon, first one, yellow color. I am clicking that. Can you see? It is getting executed. So you can either use that or you can use control plus enter. So either one you can use. Fine. Now, once I have redirected to my database here, one thing that which you can observe here is left side that the database will be highlighted automatically. In which database you are, automatically that database will be highlighted. By that you can understand that in which database you are there currently. Understood? So by that you can understand. Now, next thing here, I want to fetch. What is a command? Select star from employee I am telling. Okay. Now, can you see that I am getting an error here? Why is that error? Because it is not because of the syntactic mistake. One thing that you need to understand here is in the editing screen, if you have more than one statements, you have to differentiate that statements. If you have more than one statement, then what you have to do? You have to differentiate. Otherwise, MySQL will consider this everything as single query. But is everything is a single query? No. So that is why that error it is showing. Now how do I differentiate is, just to go to that previous statement, provide semicolon. What do you have to do? Just go to the previous statement, provide semicolon. Here, semicolon is not mandatory for your statement termination. Semicolon is not mandatory for your execution. Semicolon is only required to differentiate between the statements in your editing. Did you understand what is the purpose of semicolon in the workbench? So this is the purpose. Otherwise, semicolon is not mandatory. So now I will go here. See, here I am not giving any semicolon, all that. So I'll just click on this particular button. Can you see here? Can you see here? Three things I have here. One is my query, one is my output, and one is my result. Okay, so please understand this segregations in your workbench. Okay, this font size, whatever it is there, this we can increase. Okay, so I'll increase it in the next class and I will show to you. Okay, here if I am changing it, I have to restart my thing again. I have to close and I have to open again. So whatever I said, that is why I said please do understand my words. Same thing, do it in your system. Whatever you have done so far, everything you can do it in your workbench. So please kindly do start working it. Fine? So thank you guys. We'll stop here. Thank you.